Hello guys, me again. In this video, what we're gonna do, we will show you how to install Linux, which is Ubuntu Linux, on a VirtualBox. And then we will show you how the updates work. Plus, we will also look at the network adapter, how to make sure that we can reach the Linux server. Obviously, this can be something like a home lab or something like a proof of concept. So this is the VirtualBox running on your machine. In this case, it's going to be on Windows 11 or Windows 10, or you can run it on any other platform. And then we will, on top of that, install the Ubuntu Linux as a virtual environment. Obviously, we can take this one further by installing other services on that one as a proof of concept or home lab. So let's have a look and move on to that video. You search for the Oracle VBox, which is the one we're going to use as one of the hosting platforms, if you like, i.e. one of the virtualization platforms. So we're going to look at the VBox, as well as assuming people who will install the VBox, they don't have another infrastructure. So here you will download the VBox. So depending on your platform, probably we will use this one on Windows hosts, and we will download that version, and we will follow the installation procedure. The version of the VBox at the time of this video is version 7.0.6. It might be a different version when you install your VBox, but that should be the same and there's no difference whatsoever. We'll accept all the defaults, so we're going to go next. We'll go yes. If there are any missing dependencies, it will be installed, so go ahead. We're going to click on the finish, and that will start the VBox. Now we need Ubuntu, so you go to ubuntu.com, you go to download, and you could download the server, but for whatever I'd like to try to do is desktop is enough. So you download the desktop, load that. You wait a little bit, it takes a bit of time, it depends on the connection. We'll come back to this one once that's downloaded. So now the download is complete. It's an ISO format, ISO image. We will import that one, add it as a new virtual machine inside the VirtualBox. That is the VirtualBox. We're going to go for a new machine. We need to give it a name and details. So in this case, I would like to call it Ubuntu VM. That's the location where the folder will be installed. So basically, in my case, will be D. In your case, can be obviously different. Here you will select the downloaded file, which we have just done now. It's a 64-bit operating system. So this being just downloaded now. Right. So go next. So the username, give it any name. I put my name and a password, whatever password you would like. We'll leave the host and domain name as is. We go next. Now that depends on your environment. I'm running this one on Windows 10/11. I have 16 gigabyte of memory of RAM. At this stage, 2 gigabyte will be enough, and I'll leave it as one CPU because this is the environment on the host. And we can go now next. You select the disk size based on, again, your environment. I'll leave it as is. I'm not going to change anything. And we go next. If we're happy with this, then we go finish. That will start an installation of the virtual machine. So the installation is complete now. We will log in with whatever password. We can skip all of these, that's up to you, but we're gonna just move on and go to the installation. Next, we're done. We'd like to open a terminal, so we can search here. We're gonna go terminal, and you can look at the IP address. There are multiple different ways. IPA, that is internal IP, so that interface, because remember this is what's so called unattended installation. So the installation happened and they have configured multiple settings behind the scenes without one interference. One of these settings is basically how this virtual machine will communicate with the outside world. So let's say we need to ping an external IP 888. We are able to ping. Let's also make sure that DNS is working, so we can ping, say for example, google.com. That's the IP, but we cannot reach this IP directly, obviously. It is netted, as we said. But I can ping from here because I can ping, for example, google.com. Ping is successful. We'll issue the command IP config all /all on our machine where the VirtualBOX is running. We're going to see that there are some virtual adapters that have been installed here, one of which will be related to the VirtualBOX. Now, in the VirtualBOX itself, we will connect, so we're going to change from netting into host-only adapter. Reach the server, the Ubuntu with this. So if you look at the IP config, as we said before, it has the internal. So we're going to change this one to host only adapter. So if you go to settings, if you like, and you go to network, you can change from NAT to host only adapter. And we're going to say apply. What will happen here, the IP will change in the same range. The IP address has changed. So now it is going to be reached on this IP from the local machine. So we're going to go for SSH with that IP. So we're going to say password. And we are able to reach here from the SSH. So now we connected to that virtual machine, to that virtual appliance or virtual machine that is Ubuntu using SSH. We've done the update. Now this is one way to install this one as a home lab or as a proof of concept on your local machine. If you wanted to install this one on ESXi, again, I assume people with this don't have ESXi. If you do have ESXi, I'll show you how to perform the installation on the ESXi, and that will be on a separate video. And then that would be something that is a little bit different. It is much easier than this. Obviously, in production environment, you would not go VirtualBOX, you will go to ESXi or Hyper-V or so, one of these platforms. Open a browser, so there's a built-in Firefox browser on the Ubuntu. So we're going to go to any address, let's say YouTube. That's from within the Ubuntu client. So we will agree to whatever, and that should take us to the YouTube stuff. So it means this machine is able to reach the internet with no problems. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in future videos. Take care. Bye.